So, let's talk about Black Ops 2 Remastered. Because if you guys live under a rock, that is the next point of topic that people have been talking about recently. And I kind of have some mixed feelings about it, right? Let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's break this down. Let's break this down and see what we got going on. On the gameplay, you are looking at some Black Ops 2, right? You guys absolutely know how we're doing it in here. We're having some fun, living out the memories of 2012 and whatnot. And it brings a good topic, right? Black Ops 2 Remastered. Do we want that? Let's like, it's an obvious like, yes, of course. Oh yeah, Black Ops 2. But do we? Do we really? All right, because our best idea of how they're going to treat this is treating how they did Modern Warfare Remastered, right? And like, it wasn't a bad remaster after all, right? I'm not going to come in here and like say that I didn't have fun in it, because I did. I enjoyed it very much. But then again, compared to Infinite Warfare, because they released at the same time. But I think it was a solid way of re-releasing a game. The graphics were great. You could tell that the game engine was a little bit different. Of course, they're not going to use the old one, right? It is a remaster after all, not just the graphics. So it is going to feel a little different, but I think it was done really well. A lot of people weren't happy with the fact that like they added DLC weapons, but in this day and age, it's something that we're used to. And like, a lot of people will tell you, like, even though they'll say out loud like, oh my god, like, leave the game how it was, let's be real, right? We've played Black Ops 2 already, and we play it sometimes like I do for like the nostalgia and stuff. But let's be real, our squirrel minds, we need more content to keep us entertained, right? I mean, of course they can like hold off on the DLC, right? Because this game had a lot of DLC, all the 4 map packs, and then like all the zombies maps and everything. There's a lot of content, but I still think that we're probably going to need more. I'm not saying that they need to release so much more like new content, I guess, to where there's more new content than there is original content. But like they did with Advanced Warfare, what was it? Modern Warfare Remastered. They did release some guns, a couple of new guns, a couple of new skins and camos and everything. And I think they treated that game very well. Obviously, it wasn't perfect, right? They added in, I don't think they added any new maps. They just added like variations of new maps. They had, what map was that called? With, like the tanks in the middle, and like it was all wide open. I think it was Bog. I think it was something like that, like the days of summer. That was one of like the best events that we've ever had for Call of Duty ever. But that was pretty sick, honestly. Like, look back at it, it was a pretty cool event. It was not only for Modern Warfare Remastered, it was for Infinite Warfare, and I think even Black Ops 3 had a little bit of the Days of Summer event, and that was pretty dope. Had a couple of guns in there. It was treated pretty respectfully, I would say. Obviously not perfect. If you ask me, I don't think it would need any extra maps. A couple of new guns maybe, but it's something they have to be really careful with, because if they go a little bit too far, a little too hungry, then they can easily mess that up. I think if I had to give it like out of a 10, Modern Warfare Remastered was like an 8. Like obviously there was some stuff that they could have done, maybe added some new maps or unreleased maps or weapons that were in the like the source code of the game but never pushed out. Or they could have even added some legacy weapons like the intervention from Modern Warfare 2. I think they had like the S-TAC aggressor, that's what it was called. It was like the fake intervention. But like bring stuff that's from the universe, like actually add the ACR and not like make fake somewhat similar versions of it. Black Ops 2 could do that in the sense of like they could add something from Black Ops 3. Like I said, that's kind of pushing it a little bit, right? But maybe not Black Ops 2, but maybe some guns from like Black Ops 1. That would be insane, and it's still tied into the universe. And it's something that could last a very long time, and they can make it like a live service kind of deal, which is dope. The only concerns that I have for sure, like I said, like if they decide, because in this day and age, right, the battle passes, season pass kind of trend is kind of going crazy, but I don't see how they can really like push that in there without people like getting noticeably upset. So I don't think they'll see that happening, because Modern Warfare just kind of added like a little black market, kind of like a shop on top of that. But it was all cosmetic, and there actually were like direct ways to earn those weapons. I remember it took a while, and to this day I don't have all of them, even though I played even though I played a lot of it. I couldn't get all the weapons, but I didn't really care anyways. Like I said, like every game, well, every gun in that game was overpowered. Like it was kind of like Modern Warfare 2, like every gun with stopping power killed in like 2 shots. So it's not like you had to worry about you know, anything being overpowered, because everything was overpowered in that game, you know. Black Ops 2 is going to be a little finicky though, because I think Black Ops 2 was a good game and it's balanced very well, but it's not because, like, you know how like from Modern Warfare 1 to 3 every gun was overpowered so nothing was. This game actually had some decent balance to it because the competitive scene was huge. Other than the M8 and the MSMC, everything else was used relatively on like an average level. It's very little guns in this game that are completely useless, you know. Every game is gonna have, you know, it's hard to balance 40 plus guns no matter what. There's no game that has a perfect balanced meta, right? But I think Black Ops 2 is very close to that, so that might be a concern, because if a gun is overpowered in this game, it's gonna be very noticeable and people are gonna be really upset. And I think nerfs are gonna need to come quicker than a game in Modern Warfare was. I don't even think they nerfed any of the guns after all when they released all the DLC weapons, like the brand new ones. But it's just a couple of concerns that, you know, I was thinking about. I don't know if they... Here's another one too, right? And this might not seem like... It seems stupid, right? But nothing is stupid anymore. What if they had gobblegums? Yeah, like what if they had gobblegums to Black Ops 2 Remastered? I feel like that would... I don't know. I feel like there'd be a 50-50 split on the community. I still, like, thinking about it, unless they implement it well, or maybe like they just have it like lightly there. I don't know. Because it works. Because look, to support it, Origins on Black Ops 3, I think the gobblegums were great. Because honestly, Origins is still a hard-ass map. Honestly, even on Black Ops 2, right? Origins is pretty tough compared to the other ones, right? If you're a zombie pro, then yes, I know, like, every map is, you know, not that difficult to you. But in comparison to the other maps, Origins proves to be a little bit more difficult than the other ones. So, like, when I play it on Black Ops 3, honestly, it feels very natural with the gobblegums, right? Because obviously some gobblegums are very overpowered and they help you a lot, but still, you know, it's still not the easiest map. It's not the most noob friendly. So it did prove to still be fun, you know, and it allows you to go up to higher rounds and everything, while still proving difficult enough to be fun and providing a challenge. As we're getting older, you know, obviously from 2012 or 2013 when the map came out to now 2022, 9 years later, we've all grown up, we've all gotten better at the game, we're not kids no more. But I mean, it's an interesting point of conversation, and then it's gonna be interesting to see the decisions that they make and how the community now is gonna take these decisions, you know, because we never know. We never know. All the stuff that we wanted back then, we may not want anymore. And we've seen that. The Call of Duty has gone through many stages. A lot of us have grown up. A lot of us have different desires because of the gaming industry and what they're used to, the practices and all that. But it should be exciting. It should be an interesting, anxiety-inducing. Honestly, I'm excited. At the end of the day, bro, my final opinions on everything, I am quite excited to see how this goes through. I think that they'll do great, because they know that they don't really have to touch Black Ops 2 that much to keep it like relevant, like as a remastered game. Because, like I said, it's pretty much almost everything the community wanted. It was very little things in that game that bothered people, right? I think the C4 might have been like the only issue, but even then, that was like one of the worst things maybe. But I guess we'll find out. I don't know what you guys think about this. I mean, there's a lot of other people out there with varying opinions. It should be a very interesting time for us. I think Black Ops 2 is a great game to remaster. It is one of the most liked universes. I know some people didn't like it, but it was highly perceived as a good Call of Duty game. And honestly, like the pick 10 system really helped them move towards the future, move towards the, you know, the competitive scene and everything. And it's also very casual friendly as well. It's very hard to make a casual friendly and a competitive friendly game at the same time, and Black Ops 2 just kind of does that well for everybody. But other than that, let me know what you guys think so far about the news and how you think Black Ops 2 is going to be handled as a remastered game. I'm very much excited for it. I hope they don't go too crazy with it. It's cool if they add a little bit new content every now and then, but I mean, as long as they don't turn it into like a whole different game completely with the amount of content they can push out, that I think we should be just fine, and it'll be a lot of fun, especially since Call of Duty's been going down the gutter recently. I think Black Ops 2 Remastered would be a good idea, but I guess we'll find out if the idea ever comes out to fruition anyways. I really hope they do, and other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and hit that follow button.